What's cracking, traders? XehrFelrose here, bringing you Pokemon GO Battle League content. Today's video, we're taking a look at another Pokemon that was reworked in this season with the reworks to Dragon Claw and Dragon Tail. Guzzlord is the Pokemon in question here, and Dark types are coming back into the meta, trainers. You better be careful, you better beware. Some of y'all have been disrespecting him. You can't do that. No, not with Guzzlord around. Guzzlord, Dark Dragon typing, dominates a lot of matchups with its typing and bulk alone, and the rework to Dragon Claw allows it to finally have a heavy hitting charge move that's not Sludge Bomb. But Gastrodon is one of its best core mates in the Great League, being able to handle most of the things that it has trouble with, such as steel types, and quite good play into most of the fairies as well. And then you're going to have Clodsire in the back here with Stone Edge Earthquake. Most likely the safe switch on this team is the Stone, or the Stone Quake, or as they call it, the Ground and Rock. There's the type, because they're in my head, I promise, trainers. That's really good coverage for generally being as in like a safe swap role. So let's get into the games here before I talk myself into 3 more circles. Get into the first game here, trainers. We're gonna have Gyarados. Yeah, talk about something that kind of beats the whole team. That's rough, but you know what's also nice? The fact that pacing is on Guzzlord's side here, getting to the Dragon Claw, or getting to the Brutal Swing, I should say, in simply 3 Dragon Tails, and going to be able to do quite a lot of damage with these Dragon Tails as well. Dragon Claw is there if it gets the energy, but the nice thing about this matchup is that you just resist all the energy, we win the zeros. That's actually quite nice. In comes a opposing Kanto Marowak, and now we're going to see if they feel like they need to respect the damage of a Guzzlord. They do. Come on, man! Who shields Guzzlord? You paid me! Trainer, you wound me! That's okay. That's okay. Also, I don't know if we introduced our trainer today, didn't we? Now, Ebabear is back with some gameplay here in the Great League. Shoutcast, as always, thank you very much for sending in the games. Ebabear, appreciate you very much. The opponent has a Mudslap Nidoqueen, and this game is pretty much just done. Well, maybe not. Could this be a Poison Fang? I think we're going to have to absorb the Fang and just get the Earthquake off on the Clodsire. Going to be going for the Body Slam, and that should be enough to threaten his shield because those Mud Slaps after would simply knock out. The opponent, however, going to have to land an Earth Power through a shield somehow. I think this is a very safe no. We're going for the no shield. Ebabear taking a risk. They're going for the Poison Fang. Bye! Oh, that was the safest shield in the world. That was on the edge of my seat. I was so glad. Oh my goodness, good game. Holy, bro. All right, next game up, we're going to have Guzzlord looking, oh, so menacing against a Murkrow. Yep, well, you like to see this one, sure do, because fast move damage is not something that the Murkrow is very good at handling, but they're going to be able to fire off a move here. I think you would have probably got a shield off this thing, even if you threw a Brutal Swing, to be honest. It's going to be able to go for Drill Pecks here in quick succession, and then they're going to catch on Cradilly. Now, are we going to be able to, I think we have to stand and go for the Dragon Claw here, and I might get to, no, come on, man! I'm thinking, I'm like, I might get to see how much damage. Nope. No, opponent's going to be looking to go for a Rock Tomb, though, but they may have waited a little bit too long. Guzzlord's pacing on these Brutal Swings is insanely fast now. And look at that. Just like that, the Guzzlord is nearly flipping this matchup. Rock Tomb going to do quite a bit here, but never enough. The opponent on Bullet Seed, they could get farmed down here, and they would have been. Just go for the Dragon Claw, man, please. Guzzlord throws a Brutal Swing before going down. They probably just didn't realize they were going to get to the Dragon Claw. I've done that so many times where I'm just like going for whatever charge move I think I can get to, and then, oh, I should have gone for the other one, but I didn't realize I was going to get to it. Now it's going to be a shield bait situation here as Gastrodon has the Water Pulse and needs to be going for Body Slams to try and get the shields off of this thing. The opponent falls for the bait once, so they're going to fall for it twice, putting an edge on Gastrodon here to try and win this game. Body Slam gets the second shield. Oh man, this is crazy. All right, now the opponent, are they full sending? Are they going for the Fire Punch? Will they go for the bait? They do not. The Scorching Sands goes off, but they should be able to get to another Scorching Sands in time, and now it's going to be all up to Clodsire to land the Earthquake that it needs to be able to win this game. The opponent has all 3 Pokemon left, but they're not looking too healthy. Clodsire is going to need an overfarm and pray that it does not get the attack drop here. Scorching Sands hits, connects, does not get the debuff. We can go for the Earthquake to get the knockout from this range. It should be enough. Clodsire is very bulky and it does not hit hard, but what it can do is it can take out a red HP Diggersby with an Earthquake, and the opponent's going to have that Murkrow going to come back in, but we have no shields, and the Stone Edge not quite yet available. Drill Peck's going to knock out the Clodsire, and unfortunately Murkrow hitting us hard enough to take us out. Good game. All right, next battle's ready and going here. We're going to be getting into the Morpeko. Oh, a lead, bro. This whole team. Bro, Morpeko has nowhere it can go right now. Not a single piece of anything on its moveset here can harm this Guzzlord. Well, by itself, you can get to 2 Aura Wheels and then just get really sad, but Clodsire and Gastrodon shut this thing down as well, just incredibly hard. The opponent going to be using all their resources here, trying to get through this Guzzlord. Maybe they're weak in the back to it as well. This would be a safe pivot out into something else, I would think. Perhaps we could try it. I don't know. I don't know if Evabear's looking to do the same thing. No, the opponent instead of that's a Waterfall Gastrodon. Wow, that is conveniently placed and a very not fun thing to deal with. Now, hopefully the opponent goes ahead and puts the shield down so they can save this energy, and that might give us a chance to be able to do something. But Clodsire just gonna have to come in and be a meat shield, I guess, because we're hoping the Gastrodon might be able to flip the script in the end game here. Going for the first Aqua Tail. The opponent is only on Waterfall, so the pacing's not as good. However, we're going to let the Clodsire go. 1 Mud Slap advantage on the Gastrodon, and we're going to take that to victory. The opponent's going to go down 2-1, and now what comes in afterwards? Nothing, because the opponent was ABA weak to the Gastrodon, and that's going to be a good game. Next game, we got to... This is the bad thing about running Clodsire Dragon Core, is because it's incredibly weak to ice, and unfortunately, Evabear knows it. Dragon Claw gonna be thrown here, trying to get some good damage in. The opponent maybe doesn't know. They're gonna not. Now they shield. Why do they all shield it? I want to know how much damage it does. I don't want to see it in the Sims. I want to see it right here live in front of my face. The opponent has a Quagsire to answer the Gastrodon safe switch attempt here by Evabear, and honestly, this is okay. Gastrodon can do some good damage, good balance of fast and charge move damage, whereas the Quagsire really has to rely all on its Aqua Tails in order to do meaningful damage in this matchup. And now we have the farm down attempt. Maybe, no, the opponent going to be able to get to 1 final charge move, and Gastrodon's going to let this go. Aqua Tail reached. Now we get the farm down. Absolutely. The opponent is going to have to deal with a Body Slam coming through, though. This is going to do a little bit of damage. Might be meaningful, might not be. We'll have to see. Body Slam doesn't hit very hard, but that might have just put it right into Stone Edge range for Clodsire at some point in the match. Guzzlord's going to come right back in here, look to try and make something happen, putting up the final shield. The opponent in a very good spot with this Dugong here, because if it can survive long enough to see what's in the back, it'll permanently be able to debuff the Clodsire, because if Clodsire cannot swap out, those debuffs cannot be cleared. Gonna go for a catch into the Clodsire, trying to keep the Guzzlord alive at this point, knowing that exact fact that they cannot clear debuffs without having something to swap back into, and so the opponent's gonna bring in that's a Shadow Empoleon, and with the incredibly quick pacing of this Empoleon, it's gonna get immediately to the Hydro Cannon, get this knockout. Guzzlord's coming back in, but it's not gonna be enough, man, and Empoleon sweeps us. That's just unfortunate. That's just unfortunate. That Clodsire had enough farm, and man, that hurts. Next game, though, looking for some redemption. If this is an Acid Dragalge, the opponent comes in. What? That's a Mightyena, and it's on Ice Fang, and we're in shambles at the moment with Ice Fang. Mightyena just ripping the team in half. Ice damage is so good in the Great League right now, man. It really is. It core breaks so many teams. You got to be careful of it. But the opponent's Mightyena is not known for being bulky, and so a charge move is likely to connect and knock out at this point. The opponent looking to have done as much damage as possible with that crunch, but perhaps instead they'd like to try and flip switch advantage, which Evabear does not need right now. Oh, Poison Sting off now, and the Poison Sting, oh, gets caught by the Ludicolo. But Ludicolo's gonna have to deal with Guzzlord now, and that's perfectly fine. Guzzlord looking in a very good spot to be in a very good spot in this matchup, and it looks like the opponent's not going to be able to reach a move. They are running Razor Leaf, the highest damage per energy or damage per turn move in the game, but also one of the lowest energy gaining that we have available. Gastrodon is going to come in trying to see if it can sweep this game. The opponent's only at just a few fast moves. That's going to just be an Aqua Tail here. Aqua Tail would do a little bit of damage, but Gastrodon does not want to take any chances. The opponent is going to swap in to catch the move with the unfortunate. Okay, and then they concede. Nothing they could do, really. Gastrodon just kind of ate that whole deal right there. That was his breakfast right there. That was just what he does. All right, next game, we're going to have Guzzlord on the lead, trying to get put on the chef hat to get Gastrodon's lunch ready. Gotta go for the brutal swing here. Looking to charge attack priority tie here. Opponent can shield up. They're not ready to deal with this damage, but unfortunately for them, this Guzzlord gets to outpace them completely. You know, Marowak's known for being fairly fast in this format because of its ability to generate energy quickly with Mud Slap and those low-cost Bone Clubs, but Guzzlord is able to outpace to these moves and just enough to threaten both shields, and now Guzzlord wants to make itself known here on the battlefield and dominantly take out whatever comes in because they just swapped to catch a move. That's a Moltres, trainers. That is a Galarian Moltres. And now in comes the Clodsire. Are going to be able to fire off a Stone Edge very quickly here, thankfully. But the opponent going to be over farming, maybe looking to go for the Brave Bird, unfortunately. That would be unfortunate. Yes, it would. That's a lot of damage. Overfarm was nice, but now we're going to have to take all that damage in exchange for it. Clodsire is going to be looking to launch the Stone Edge. It will connect. No more Protect Shields available for the opponent. Now the opponent is going to be able to get to a move with the Marowak. This is risky business, isn't it? Now, Bone Club is going to connect. Now, what's going to happen is the Gastrodon has to get this sweep. Gastrodon's going to come in here looking to make a catch. The opponent going to be able to read that catch attempt. Not happening, man. Not happening. Gastrodon's going to have to take a charge move here, but at least it's just a Bone Club. Shouldn't do too much damage depending on what's in the back. The opponent has a Scizor, and if this Water Pulse and a Mud Slap is enough damage, Gastrodon gets to take home the win here. Otherwise, it's enough! Oh my goodness, I did not think it was going to be enough. Gastrodon, you a saucy slug you are indeed. All right, next battle we got here. Guzzlord is waving its arms around. Enjoy seeing the Unova Stunfisk as it resists these Thunder Shocks. Opponent going to drop straight into a Corviknight that we definitely do not have an answer for on this team. No, sir, this team is triple Giga Weak to Corviknight, and Guzzlord is going to have to try and do some heavy lifting to take care of this Corviknight problem that we've got here. This is not pest control. This is well, that's actually exactly what this is. This Corviknight's a pest. We have to control it. Get it out of here. The opponent throws the air cutter. It looks like trying to get a boost here. I couldn't see if they got it or not, but we're going to be able to get for a brutal swing here very quickly. But the opponent is going to be able to outpace here as they've only thrown 2 charge moves at this point. They do have some extra energy, but they are also running Iron Head. That is a double Legacy Corviknight. That is the Corviknight that is tired of seeing your Cordillies, trainers. That's exactly what that is. And now the opponent is going to be able to get a farm down. No, my goodness, the Guzzlord almost turned it around and got a move off. I think you have to come in with Gastrodon here and just hope that you can. No, it's just okay. Okay. Clodsire's the meat shield of choice here. Air cutters are going to start adding up with these sand attacks. The opponent going to be able to go for 2 here. And man, Iron Head's going to do some damage. The opponent kind of looking to give up this matchup. They're not looking to switch out. They're just say, here, take me out. But no, they get to one more final parting gift of a charge move just in the nick of time. Oh, it was a nice overfarm attempt, but now the Clodsire is going to look to go for a no charge and maybe a resisted poisoning farm down if it can get one. The opponent is going to drop in this Unova Stunfisk. The problem, though, is that Clodsire itself is also weak to ground, and this is going to be a swap that needs to happen. We have got to get out of this match. They're throwing a Mud Bomb. Clodsire is going to sacrifice itself and leave 2 shields up to this Gastrodon. It's going to be... This is it. This is it. 2 shield Gastrodon. It's going to come in, and it's going to absorb this Mud Bomb. Does not need to start shielding yet. Doesn't matter what's in the back at this point. This is not worth the shield. The opponent going to be looking to go for another Mud Bomb, but the Water Pulse is reached, and Gastrodon's going to throw it right away. Not looking to give the opponent any chance to throw a second charge move and almost get the knockout, and they cannot get to another Mud Bomb, and that is huge damage not to have to take. Your Marowak's going to come in, and if we can land the Water Pulse, the opponent might be looking to go for a catch, and they do! And the Hyper Bear waits the turn to catch that in action. That was a beautiful identification of they're going to catch on me. And if anyone tell me that, I love that. And if I do it, my game doesn't respond and I don't get to see anything until they've already thrown a charge move at me or something. iOS, that's like the one thing that I don't like about having iOS. Anyway, next game up, we're going to have a Clodsire in the lead here. Guzzlord in a neutral matchup. What's it going to be able to do here? Do we just go for the Dragon Claw right as we get to it on 5? That's going to be good timing as well. Going to be getting the most efficient damage and energy into the turns of these 2 different duration fast moves. Guzzlord's gonna have to take an Earthquake though, and it's not gonna like that. The opponent now can just bring in, oh, they just bring in the Blastoise. Could have gone for the Dragon Claw for some additional damage here if we wanted to. Brutal Swing's just gonna chip it. I think the Gastrodon might have to be the play here. We're gonna be going for a farm up here. The opponent gonna be able to throw a charge move, trying to cut off this energy. Is it worth it? Yep, Ebba Bear says it's absolutely gonna happen. We're gonna be going for the Brutal Swing, trying to get another shield off the opponent or get them low enough. Maybe Gastrodon comes in and starts doing its thing. We get the shield as well as another Brutal Swing, and now Ebba Bear's Guzzlord is looking to let itself probably go down at this point, knowing that it's done a good job. The opponent, however, throws energy, trying not to get farmed down. They seem to want alignment, I guess. I think. I don't know. Or they just really wanted to get that Hydro Cannon off. Clodsire going to be able to come in and almost get it, but no. The opponent was only one rollout away, unfortunately. That means Clodsire is going to have to take the brunt of this fully powered Hydro Cannon and whatever comes in next. Clodsire's got an energy advantage, and its energy is usually useful into everything. For the most part, Charizard's going to come in. That is a Dragon Breath Charizard, and the opponent tries to make a catch of that Stone Edge onto their Clodsire, and they are instead going to catch these hands as Gastrodon tanks the Earthquake, looks to get the farm down, and can land Body Slams, Water Pulses, and whatever else it wants at this point against the Charizard. An amazing attempt at catching by the opponent, but just unfortunately, the read was there, and Gastrodon finally gets itself to the second Water Pulse before the opponent can get to 2 moves or a farm down, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. All right, Guzzlord's bottomless pit of a stomach is getting hungry, so we got to get along here, trainers, and it's going to be against this Bastiodon. That is not Guzzlord food. An immediate switch into Clodsire, which can occasionally do a very nice job of breaking apart these toxic Bastiodon teams, and the opponent swapping as slowly as they did into the Abomasnow means that the energy advantage that Clodsire gets here can get both shields with no problem. I don't even think that Clodsire even has to spend a single shield. The opponent goes for the Weather Ball. They will be able to farm down here, but Clodsire's energy lead allows it a second Stone Edge, and that's going to be massive because now, I mean, what do you do? Abomasnow just happens to core break the rest of the team. The opponent does get scared, throws the energy here. Clodsire's happy enough not to let this go, or happy enough to let this go and not let this energy reach the back line. Now, Guzzlord's going to have to put one shield down and try to get this Brutal Swing off immediately to try and get rid of this Abomasnow, and hopefully they don't try to catch that move. They do not. They want to try and let Abomasnow go down at this point. Now Abomasnow needs its maker. The opponent is going to be dropping back in that Bastiodon, and now what comes in? The opponent's not swapping out. They're throwing a charge move with the Bastiodon. Trainer, what do you have in the back that's so weak to Gastrodon? What do you have? What do you have? Go, show it to me, trainer. Going for the Water Pulse here. Does not want to let the opponent connect with another charge move. Gastrodon does not need to deal with that today. No, it does not. The opponent has Talonflame. Oh, no, trainer. Oh, no. That is really unfortunate. Water Pulse on Gastrodon is the new sauce, and now in comes the Guzzlord to absorb a charge move, shield, and then get the farm down and take the win here. Man, Gastrodon just absolutely flexing its energy in that game. Holy. Next game, Guzzlord against the move over to me. It's Miltank. Whitney's Miltank takes the field and is ready to roll us out all into our PTSDs from our childhoods. And man, if they ever remake Gen 2, I hope that they don't change that particular aspect of the rollout Miltank, because my goodness, that thing was just, that was absolutely menacing to deal with. If you're in the comments, let me know what your most what your most difficult gaming moment was in your Pokemon journey here, if you played the main series games. Opponent's going to be looking to throw an energy here. It's throwing energy. It's throwing an Ice Beam here. The opponent can have a Thunderbolt, but does appreciate having that Ice Beam for the Dragons. And the opponent does come over the Swampert, quickly gets to the Hydro Cannon, and completely neutralizes the Clodsire through a little bit too late, unfortunately. The Guzzlord is going to come back in here and try to make things right. Clodsire wishing that it could take the field yet again. Channeling all of its hopes and dreams through the Guzzlord. Guzzlord's going to be looking to take this charge move. The opponent may only have the Hydro Cannon or the Sludge. Could even be on Earthquake for all we know, but they're going to have to shield in order to keep the Swampert around, and this dragon is not looking to let that happen. The opponent does have a Corviknight, and well, that is just unfortunate. Unfortunately, Clodstar, you will not be avenged. This Gastrodon is probably not primed and ready to be able to handle this, but we're going to see Gastrodon looking to come in and start getting a chance to win this game here. We're going to have to go for some body slam baits, and if the opponent calls any of them, we are in shambles. Going for a bit of an over farm here. The opponent, I mean, a bait call either way that goes wrong is going to flip this game. Now the opponent's going to come back in with the Miltank, giving even more energy than to body slam as well. I think we have to shield it. That could be an Ice Beam, though. That's going to be enough. Now the Ice Beam comes through. Let's see. Body slam number one. Is the opponent going to respect the mud? Are they going to respect the water pulse at any point here? No, you could hit him with the water pulse. They knew the bait was coming. Oh, that's where it comes all. That's where it all falls apart. That one bait call goes wrong. Can Guzzlord, however, get to a charge move? The opponent is now going to have to throw energy. Guzzlord's coming in. Is that going to allow anybody to get to a charge move? The opponent's Fraudulent Bird of Doom in the sky. Air Cutter connects. Can Gastrodon hang on and get to a body slam? The Air Cutter's going to do a bit of damage here. Is it enough? It didn't seem like much previously. Air Cutter. No! Oh, that was a close game. Wow, that was it. That's all of them. Good games. Oh my goodness. I've been Bear. Thank you so much for sending in these riveting gameplay footage. I love the way that Guzzlord is now. I think it's better than it was before, because like, it always liked having a cheat move, but Dragon Claw now being the option of being a nuke is what Guzzlord kind of always wanted, because it would always throw just Brutal Swing anyway. You would only ever throw Dragon Claw if it was super effective, so it doesn't really change Guzzlord's play style in that regard, but it allows it to have a heavier hitting stab move, which is really awesome. Let me know in the comments what your favorite dragon is in the Go Battle League, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, thank you very much. Bye-bye.